So I wanted to share with you a bunch of tips that will make bathroom remodeling much easier for you. And I have to start out with one of the biggest ones, and that is PEX water supplies for your bathroom. This has really made it a lot easier for DIYers or any contractor doing any renovations. It's really streamlined the installation, a lot less work than soldering copper and doing any of that. So if you're going to get into a bathroom renovation to this level where you're gutting everything down to the studs, I highly recommend that you replace it with PEX. And then there's all these different adapters that you can attach to it to make it really easy. For instance, these stub outs for a pedestal sink really work out great and easy to do. Now you can't you can't talk about PEX and the new plumbing supplies without talking about Sharkbites. Sharkbites are definitely another revolutionary product that has really made it really simple. I always use that to cap off the water supplies when I gut a bathroom so that you can get the water back on in the home. They're also really nice for shut off valves for underneath your sinks or for your toilet supplies. So Sharkbites definitely make things a lot easier for you. So it has these little nailing flange pieces on here. I have to cut these off now because I'm putting them on a flat 2x4 like this. They're great, so you can just basically bring these out as much as you need to make them work. Alright, so one of my favorite lights that I like to put above my showers and my tub surrounds are these Halo 4-inch lights. Really makes it easy. I just run the wire up loose, cut the hole, and then install this. And what's really great about these is that they're flat, they're IC rated, meaning that you can have insulation above them, and they're dimmable. They're dimmable and they're selectable as far as the light color. So it goes from 2700K to 5000K. So whatever your flavor is, you should be able to find that in this. One of my favorite thin sets for my go-tos, just because it has a really long pot life, is Ardex X5. And I always just get the white because it'll make sure that I can do whatever type of mosaic or whatever type of tile anybody buys. But I really highly recommend this if you're a beginner, because the length of time that it can sit in the bucket is a little over 3 hours. So it gives you plenty of time to be able to make all your cuts and be able to do this. So always make sure you measure all your water. Basically, on this particular mix for this whole bag, we're going to be doing 6.5 quarts. Right in between the ratio, they have 6 to 7 quarts. I like to go right in the middle, 6.5. Just like any type of tile installation, just use the backside of the trowel and then work it into the substrate and then create your directional troweling. Another great feature about this thin set, it has a non-sag quality to it, so it's really great for vertical accents like this with a mosaic tile. It keeps all that tile on the wall and from moving down. I like using these horseshoe shims. These are much nicer than those rubber spacers. This makes it really easy to shim it up. Now you're going to want an expansion contraction at the tub. So these things really are awesome. So much easier than those regular rubber spacers you get at the home stores. Really makes it nice, streamlined, and easy to install to get that perfect grout joint. Okay, so just make sure that everything looks good with the laser, because at this point, it'll make the rest of it a lot easier. So this is definitely one device I can't live without with remodeling. It really makes it simple for all types of different projects, including installing the mirror and all of the accessories. So, a laser has been transformative as far as being able to reference things and be able to install things nice and level or plumb. And then you can't leave out the leveling clip system. This has been really revolutionary, especially when you get into these larger tiles. It's almost a must-have to be able to get all of your tile in line with one another. So leveling systems, really helpful for getting that tile nice and perfectly flat. So right here, you can see I need to add some more thinset so you can see how I can see that. So when you see that, just add a little bit more on that side. So just point it on. I highly recommend either the night before to set some of this, because this is so thin. I mean, these days the glass keeps getting thinner and thinner, so it's never going to match up with any tile that you use. So the solution to that is to use some of the membrane, Schluter membrane, and you're basically going to be adhering it onto this so that you can just take the full sheet and you can embed as much thinset behind this and build it out to your layer. So it makes it a lot easier, and you're not having to scrape any thinset out of these joints. So anything that you mix that's 50 pounds in a regular 5-gallon bucket can be real problematic. So the easiest way to go is obviously to buy a 6-gallon bucket. But if you don't have that, you can just easily just cut this bucket, and then you won't have any over spillage when you're trying to mix it. So I'm just going to cut the bottom of this bucket off. And then now my bucket's taller and I'm not going to get over spillage. So one thing I've definitely been doing more often is floor leveling my floors. This really makes a nice surface for setting tile on your floor, especially if you're doing any type of mosaic tiles of any sort. Having a flat surface really makes tiling much, much easier. And even in a curbless situation like this, floor leveling will get that outside floor even with your shower pan. Okay, so we're gonna install our vanity. You wanna first thing, just make sure that your vanity is level, just sitting on the floor. I'll just dab the plumbing with some paint here, and then I'll just mark it onto my cabinet. So we'll just use an 1 3/8" hole saw. I'm going to do the same thing on the drain. Okay, so when you put your P-trap in, just always extend it into your actual arm here and get it lined up, and then make a mark. And then from here, you just want to take a couple inches into the pipe. You don't want this going all the way into your fitting. Otherwise, you'll get a clog into the back of the drain. So you don't want this much extending into the drain like that. This is a great tool for that. Just cuts the pipe. These fittings always tapered end goes down. My best advice is just to not cut the tip too far, just cut it down to about 3/16 of an opening, but pay attention to how big of a gap that you need to actually fill and kind of go off of that. So we'll just basically try to be as continuous as possible with the caulking gun. Okay, then just take some clear Windex and spray that joint all the way down. And what this will do is eliminate that from smearing onto the actual tiles and remove the excess. And you can remove the excess without actually smearing it on the tile. The Windex keeps that from smearing on it. If you have an acrylic tub, it's really important to fill the tub first, because the weight of that water will make the tub flex a little bit and expand that grout joint around the edge. You're not gonna be able to really notice it by the eye, but if you go to silicone it without filling the tub, that weight of the water will make that stretch that silicone and it won't last as long. So if you want a long lasting caulk joint, fill the tub first and then caulk. Okay, then take a little bit of clear Windex and spray that joint. Okay. Around the toilet, it looks the best if you caulk around the edge of the toilet. We're going to be using lattice sill, a matching caulking for our grout. So always leave just like a little bit of area behind the toilet, just in case there was a leak and that you have indication of it, but it's really tough to caulk all the way in the back anyways, but just where you can visually see. Then clear Windex. Okay. So I hope one of those tips might have helped you out with your own project. That's really what the goal of my channel is to simplify bathroom remodeling. So if you want to share any of your tips or tricks to be able to make bathroom remodeling easier, please leave a comment down below. Like this video, really helps out, get this out to more people, and definitely subscribe. I have a lot more great content coming out that I'm really looking forward to share with you. So I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.